Hello and welcome to Cloud Perceptor channel. Today I will be explaining you all the components of our VPC, AWS VPC, and this is a zero to hero series. We'll be starting with the VPC. What is AWS VPC? Uh, Virtual Private Cloud, Amazon VPC enables you to launch Amazon Web Services resources into a virtual network that you have defined. This virtual network closely resembles a traditional network that you would operate in your own data center with the benefits of the scalable infrastructure of AWS. So VPC is nothing but it's a virtual data center in the cloud. So that's a one-liner definition of VPC. So see, this is the region, okay? This is the AWS infrastructure, wherein you have a region, you have multiple availability zones. So here we have defined a subnet wherein an EC2 instance is there. Okay. And this is the internet gateway. I will explain you all these components in detail in next slides. But this is how the VPC looks. Okay. So these are different components of a VPC. Okay. And these are the route tables for it. So now we'll create our own VPC. So in order to create your own VPC, you need to search for VPC in the search option and select this VPC option from the services. It's under isolated cloud resources. Okay, so let's do that. I'll log in into my AWS management console and I'll explain you the creation process of the VPC. Okay, so this is how the screen looks like when you create, when you open up the create option. Okay, so you need to fill all the details like name, IPv4, CDR block, depending upon your network range you want. You can leave other details as default. It also depends upon your requirements. Okay, and if you need IPv6, tenancy default, etc. And after you select all these options, you need to click on create. So let's create a VPC now. Okay, so here I'm logged into my AWS Management Console. As shown in this slide, I will be selecting the VPC from the search options. Okay, click on the VPC. I'm logged into the Mumbai region. Okay, so basically the region is AP South 1. It's going to open up the VPC dashboard. So here we go. It has loaded the VPC dashboard. As you can see, it shows different options over here. Okay, these are all the AWS VPC resources. VPCs, you see one over here. This is the default VPC that comes with my AWS account. NAT gateways, subnets, peering connections, route tables, network ACLs, internet gateway, security group, and so on. Okay, even it shows the running instances if you have any over here. So it shows the complete overview of your VPC resources. Okay, so let's create a VPC. Click on your VPC. It's going to load my existing VPC, which is the default VPC over here. All right, let me click on create VPC now. It will provide you two options over here. Okay, one is VPC only and one is VPC more. Okay, so we'll be selecting the default option, that is VPC only, and we'll putting it a name, my new VPC. Okay, something like this. That's not a correct name, but for the demo purpose, we're gonna use that. Okay, IPv4 CIDR. Okay, 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, put it something like this. Tenancy I will keep as a default. I don't need IPv6, so I'm gonna leave it as a default over here. Okay, it automatically added the name tag over here. Okay, this the name tag is not optional, but I will recommend you to give at least the name. Okay, click on create. So as soon as you click on create, what it's going to do in the background is it's going to create a default route table. Apart from that, NACL will be created. Okay, security group will be created. So this is the VPC it has created. Okay, as you can see, it's showing main route table and main network ACL. Okay, so it has created all these components over here already. Okay, so we are good with this. So this is how you can create a VPC. Okay, but still you cannot use it because you have not created any subnets. Not there are no route tables. There is no internet gateway. So you won't be able to use this VPC. All right. So let's go back to our slide and look at the other slides. All right. So as soon as we create our default VPC, AWS will create default route table. It will contain only local route. Okay. So as you can see, it contains only local route. Okay. So you cannot access internet. It will also create NACL, which is stateless network access control list. Default NACL will allow inbound, outbound traffic. Okay. So this is how the inbound and outbound rules looks like for the default NACL, and it's gonna allow the traffic over. It will also create a default security group, which will allow all traffic inbound, outbound. So this is my default security group. Okay. So next is what is a subnet? So a subnet is a range of IP addresses in your VPC. You launch AWS resources such as Amazon EC2 instances into your subnet. You can connect a subnet to the internet or VPC and to your own data centers and route traffic to and from your subnets using route tables. So we'll be creating a subnet. Okay. So you can click on subnet and create subnet. If a subnet has route to internet gateway, then it is known as public subnet. If it is not connected to internet and it can only access the AWS resources internal to your VPC, then it's known as a private subnet. Okay. So now let's go back to our AWS console and create the other components. Okay. So this is a internet gateway which we'll cover next. Okay. Let's first create the subnets. Okay, I'm back into the AWS Management Console. As you can see, the option over here, subnets. Okay, so we're gonna click on that. Let's first look at our default the newly created VPC. We already have it over here, my new VPC. This is the one which we created, and this is the CIDR range. Okay, click on subnets. Click on create subnet. It will ask you to select your VPC. Okay, because subnets are related to a VPC. Okay, so click on select your VPC over here. Give a proper name, like let me give it private. Let me first create a public subnet. Okay, public A. Okay, I'll select a single availability zone. See, it's not recommended in your production environment to select a single availability zone. You should have multiple subnets into different availability zones. Okay, to provide high availability. So never do this in production environments. This is just for our demo purpose. So I'll be selecting this options. So do not use this for production. Okay, something like this and public A. All right. So let me create this first subnet. Okay, I think it's not in the range. All right, we have created a subnet successfully. Okay, it is linked to the route table RTB. Let me go back to the sub VPC, look at the route table for this. Okay, so as you can see, our first subnet, whatever we created, is linked to the main route table. Okay, so that's how you can create the subnet. Okay, this is the public subnet, but as you know, you have not created the internet gateway, so it will not be able to access the internet. So in order to enable it to access internet, we should create an internet gateway. Okay, so click on internet gateway. This is the default internet gateway for my default VPC. Okay, and I cannot reuse it. Okay, I cannot use it for my new VPC. Internet gateway is can only be reused if you detach it. Okay, but if we detach it, we'll lose the connectivity of our public subnet for our default VPC. So we are going to create a new internet gateway. Okay, so my new IGW. Right, click on create. See, it's a simple process. Okay, it's not a you won't see much fields over here. Just click on create internet gateway. So it has created this internet gateway. But again, it has just created it. We have not attached it. So in order to attach to a VPC, click on attach to VPC. Okay, we are going to select the VPC. As you can see, it's not showing us the default VPC because default VPC is already having the uh, internet gateway connected. All right, this is the CLI option available, so you can see the CLI command, but we don't need it for now. So that's it. Attach internet gateway. All right. Again, we won't be able to use this internet gateway, or EC2 won't be able to use this internet gateway because we don't have a route defined. Okay. So for this purpose, I will be creating a new route, or maybe we can reuse it, reuse the original route for the VPC route table. So this is having this route, okay, main route table. Okay, so click on the routes. You can see we only have a local route in it. Okay, so what we are going to do is we click on add route. Our target is internet gateway. Okay, this is my new internet gateway and save. So that's it. This is my so now we have configured the internet gateway. Okay, so now whatever EC2 instance resides in this particular subnet that is using this route table will be able to access the internet. Okay, so let's create an EC2 instance and I'll show you from that. Okay, so let me open a EC2 in a new tab so that we don't have to navigate over here again and again. Right, we have selected this. Okay, I'll click on distances. Right, I already have an instance created, but it's in a different VPC, but I can create a similar one from over here. Okay, so launch more like this. We'll just change the VPC settings over here just to make it quick and easy. Choose the instance type. Maybe let's click on create configuration. You want to keep everything the same, so from the default VPC, I'm just changing it to my VPC. The available subnet, which is public A. Okay, let me use this enable, and that's okay. Everything looks good. Storage is also fine. Let me look at the security group. It will just ask you to confirm. Next, next. All right, so we can create a new security group. Okay, so click on review and launch. We'll be using the same keypad. Okay, launch instances. All right, it says instances are now launching. So let's click on view instances. Right, the instance is running, but still the status check says initializing. Let's wait for a minute. All right, so the instance is running in the running state now. So what I'm going to do is I'll just change the name of this instance to my new instance. Yeah, something like this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'll just connect to the instance. Okay. Right. And okay. So let's see. As you can see, right? This is bringing the HTML content of the google.com. So that means it is now able to connect to the internet. So now just to check this further, let's remove the route, okay, to that particular route that we have added over here in our route table. Okay, so let me click on edit and just do a cross check. I'll just remove this route and click on save. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, right, we're not able to connect to the instance now. I'll just try to connect it again. Of course, it's gonna fail because we don't have any route to the internet. Okay, as you can see, there is a problem connecting to your internet. So this is how the route table works, and this is how the internet gateway works. Okay, so again, if we add this route back, internet gateway, save changes. It's gonna again allow us to connect to our instance. Okay, we can connect. See, this is how it works. That's all for this the demo for the internet gateway. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we'll be creating a private subnet in which we are going to add an instance, and using NAT gateway will allow that instance to connect to the internet from the instance. So any connection from the outside world will not be possible if initiated. The inbound connection will be possible. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back to the slide and understand what is that. All right, so let's first understand what is a NAT gateway. So NAT gateway, network address translation gateway, is used to enable instances in private subnet to connect to the internet or other AWS services, but prevent the internet from initiating a connection with those instances. To create a NAT gateway, go back to the VPC and click on NAT gateways. So first you need to enable a route to the NAT gateway. So you can go back to the default route table and add a route with target as NAT gateway. So it looks something like this. Okay. So this is what you need to do in order to enable the route to your NAT gateway. Okay. So let's do that. Okay, I'm connected back to my AWS management console. And what I'm going to do is I'll first create a NAT gateway. Okay, no, let's first create a subnet. Okay, we'll require a private subnet over here. So in the same VPC, default VPC, I'll create a private A. Availability zone, I will be keeping the same, or let me keep it as a different. Out 1B, uh, 10.0.0.0/24, something like one over here. That's it. So this will create my private sub, adding the wrong okay, it's not within the, let me put this thing over here. All right, mistakenly I have selected this VPC. Okay, default one. I should select the my VPC. Okay, which we created a new one. Let me just see the range again. 24. All right. So this is the range I have given. Let me click on create subnet. Here we have the private subnet. Okay. What we are gonna do is we'll be creating a route. I think the default route will be there. Let's look at that. Okay, as you can see, the route is there till internet gateway, but let's create a new route. Okay, a new route table. Okay, and click on route table. We'll be adding a new route. To NAT gateway. Okay, this is the NAT gateway. Oh, I think we have not yet created the NAT gateway, so let's create that first. Okay, click on create NAT gateway. Right, and subnet will be newly created one. Okay, we can keep it as public. Okay, allocate elastic IP. That's okay. We'll be deallocating it later. Click on create NAT gateway. Okay, so we have a NAT gateway created now. All right. Going back to the route tables, this is our private route table, which we already created. Click on edit routes, click on add route, and here we'll be selecting a NAT gateway that we added. This is the one. Click on save. It looks good. We'll be adding a subnet association to the private route table. Okay, save association, and now it's time to launch an EC2 instance. New one. We'll be launching a similar one. Launch more like this. Right. Next, we'll be launching it in the my VPC private A. Subnet, everything is good. Okay, it's good. And yeah, continue. Next, root, add tags, name it as a private instance. Instance A. Click on next to configure the security group. SSH is enabled. That's good. And private A, my new instance. This is the wrong name, but we should keep it for our demo purpose. SSH is fine, and yep, looks good. Let's keep ICMP also enabled. Okay, let's keep this for now. SSH, we'll add the rule later if it is required. Click on launch instance. Okay. Let's wait until this instance gets launched. Okay, private instance A is still in pending state. Let's wait until it gets launched. Alright, so our EC2 instance is running now, which is a private instance. As you can see, it is having only private IPv4 address. But with respect to time, I will not be covering on how you can connect to this instance and ping from this instance to outside internet world. So that will be taken care in the next video. But meanwhile, you just need to understand what is the purpose of NAT gateway. The purpose of NAT gateway is to enable instances to download updates from internet. Okay, they should not be accessible from outside internet. Just let's say, for example, you have a database server, Oracle, uh, that needs updates from internet. So the connectivity needs to be initiated from the instance, not from the outside. So that is the purpose. Okay, so that is the thing. Now I will cover the NETL. Okay, so these are the network ACLs. As you can see, there is a private NETL created over here. Let's look at the network ACL. This is subnet, and this is the uh, these are the permissions that are defined. Okay, as you can see, the permissions. Let's open the network ACL. So these are at the subnet level. Okay, you will find inbound and outbound rules over here. So inbound rule, because it is stateless, okay, and security groups are stateful. So here, whatever you whatever rule you provide over here, it won't enable it for the outbound. You need to exactly specify. Okay, so that's it. And apart from that, the rules are having a rule number. Okay, so each rule number, if you precede the rule number, okay, let's say if I am allowing all traffic over here and I want to deny uh, SSH, okay, so what it's gonna do is, see, this is the default route, okay, so what it's gonna do is it will deny SSH and allow rest all other traffic from over here. Okay, so it works like this. Okay, you can click on sort by rule number to sort it by rule number, and if you click on save changes, it's gonna work like that. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so that's it for the demo for 0 to hero for VPC and its components. If you have any comments, do share your comments. If you have any questions, post it in the comment section. I would be happy to reply that. Thanks for watching this video. Do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you again.